once they get to the Galapagos Island. And then, boom, Darwin shoots it. Because he's collecting it as a specimen. And it's just like the gasp followed by nervous, awkward laughter. Every time it happens, and it's so predictable, and it just kind of makes me giggle. That again, people are just so into this, and that there's this collective experience in the theater of engaging with that. So
a lot of people focus on the Sky Theater as a kind of main attraction. It's the main event. It's where the shows are. Is this the case for you as well?
Yes and no. I mean, I think there's a lot that we can still do. I think where we can wow and what we can do in sort of that future planetariums is very much the theater. And I've had explained it before as our bread and butter. So that is where we go to do things. That is what brings people here. I think if we didn't have the theater, what we'd be able to do and how we would be able to engage people with astronomy or even other topics would be more limited. But that means we'd also have more time and resources to put into, say, our exhibit hall and everything. But we are a planetarium. Theaters are what we do. That is what we talk about. We can talk about ways we can make exhibits and galleries and things like that connect to the theater, but the theater is still our home base. And that's what really defines us. You look at our building, what do you notice first? A big green dome. That's our theater. And so, yeah, I think that's our home base.
What do you hope for the future of this planetarium?
A lot. I hope my first year we celebrated our 50th anniversary, and I'd like to see us get to 100 and beyond. I would definitely like to see us go another 50 years at least. And I'd like to see us continue to grow in terms of how we serve our audiences. I would like to make sure that astronomy is still a major thing that we do. Planetariums were built in order to teach astronomy. They were built during the space race. Like that's sort of the whole reason they first existed. It doesn't mean we can't explore other ways of engaging people in our theaters. It doesn't mean we can't try new things and see what else we can do. We don't want to hoard this technology to teach astronomy if we can use it for other things. So I'd like to see us expand and work with people in really interesting ways and continue to innovate and find new and innovative ways to use that theater to teach people about the universe. Because to me, the universe includes everything that we know. That includes stuff on Earth. That includes our history. That includes geology. That includes history. That includes culture and all of that stuff. And so I want us to continue to do those things. But I'd also like to make sure that we're always doing astronomy. I'd like to see us expand the kind of programming that we offer, and that we reach more people who might not have thought of coming to the planetariums or might not have thought of them as places for them. So I'd like to continue to, I'd hope to really just continue to reach out to people and get them to come. I'd love for us to have an addition off of our building so that we could have classroom space that really actually allows us to do more hands-on activities and allow people to engage in astronomy and other content in different ways. Or for us to do things like research and education research. We have a ton of research on how people learn in museums and informal spaces. We don't have nearly as much in planetariums. So I'd really like us to try to do more research with us and understand better and actually have some empirical data to back up why we do what we do. And how do we engage people in different ways. And so, and I think that all funnels into, I'm hoping that we can continue to have that historical place. Like we have it historically, but maybe what we're doing now, hopefully that'll be an important thing in the future, that we at least are engaged in helping in that conversation. I don't want us to be the only one. That's not what Planetarium's about. We're all collaborative. We're all friends. We all love each other. But I'd like us to still be sort of there at the forefront of like, what can we do with the Planetarium, and how can we continue to make them engaging, exciting resources that are very relevant to today.
Okay, and this is the last question I have. I asked you this during the pre-interview too, but I'll ask it again. What does the Planetarium mean to you?
My answer might be totally different this time. What does it mean to me? I was asked that about something else recently. And for some reason I find it a really hard question, and I don't know why. Like, why it's that hard. But I think it might be hard because it's almost indescribable. So this planetarium, or planetariums in general?
Let's stick with just this one.
I think this planetarium and what it means for me is it's a place for me personally to really sort of explore. I love planetariums because I think that they are a really engaging and fun place to engage people in the universe. And again, that comes down to it's galaxies, it's stars, it's planets, but it's also everything else on Earth as well. So it's a really fun place to work, where I get to have really interesting conversations, and I get to teach really interesting things and continue to learn new interesting things too. Like, I don't know that much about art history, but I keep having classes in here, and I'm learning that. So yes, this is my job, but it's also a place that I get to have so much fun in learning about the universe and then teaching about it as well. And seeing people's eyes light up when they get something, or get so excited when they see something in there, brings a smile to my face and reminds me of why we're doing what we do. And then I think in some ways it's taking on even more of a meaning right now. We're in a really interesting world, politically speaking, and I think a lot of people feel like science and education right now are under attack a little bit. At least the people who work within those fields are feeling that way. And in that environment, it's important to remember what our role is as an informal learning science institution. Is we are here to engage everybody. And what does that mean? And how do we make sure we continue to do that? Have we really been doing that? Is it a continuation, or do we have to work on that? And I think that's an important thing for us to keep in mind, that we have an important role here as a place for people to come and learn about science. And that is our job. And science is all around us, all the time. It goes into our policy decisions, but it also goes, it's just the simple act of a kid saying, "Hey mommy, what's that? Why is the sky blue? Oh, look, a butterfly." That's all science too. And it's trying to make sure that we communicate that well to people. That science is everywhere, and it is something that is generally pretty helpful, and that we want to keep going. And so I see us as having an important role, and that's very important to me, especially as a parent with kids who I want them to have a great world to live in when they're older and they're adults. And it's just a fun place to work.
Great. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Really appreciate your time today.
Yeah, I hope that was good. I feel like I rambled a bit.
No.